let's start the recording and let's welcome everybody back. It's out of the park baseball. It's the 4th of July in the year 1871. And we have what should be an interesting matchup for you. It is the worst team in baseball, the 4-7 Troy Haymakers, who have yet to pick up a win on the road this season, at the 9-5 Cleveland Forest Cities. Troy don't really need this game. They're pretty much out of it right now. 6.5 games back, I believe, or they might be 7 games back now of the National League pennant race, and they only have 11 games left. Cleveland, in the meantime, are 2.5 games back of the American League pennant, and they are sitting at 9-5. So 18 games of the season left for Cleveland. And really, they need this win to try and keep pace with Boston, who have won 10 straight now. Troy, in the meantime, just trying to get any win, playing really for pride now, as we're going to see if Troy can maybe stop the rut. One win in their last 9 and 8 losses in a row. Let's go over the starting lineups, starting with the visiting Troy Haymakers. Jimmy Hollanen will lead things off, the second baseman, batting .227, 4 RBIs this season. He's 3 for 10 versus Spalding. Clipper Flynn, the right fielder, will bat second. He is batting .227 with 5 RBIs himself, 3 for 8 off Spalding this season. Ezra Sutton will get the call, is going to be in the third spot. Third baseman batting .351, one of the brighter spots here on this Troy side. 5 for 12 versus versus Spalding this season. Fred Tracy, center fielder, bats cleanup. He's got 2 home runs, 19 RBIs. Ezra Sutton, by the way, 1 home run, 22 RBIs, one of the highest in the American League. Fred Tracy, 2 home runs, 19 RBIs, 287 average. He's 5 for 12 off Spalding this season. Jim Foran, the first baseman's in the 5 spot. He's got 2 home runs, 18 RBIs this season, batting .309. He is 5 for 12 off Spalding, so that 3-4-5 spot going to be pretty key for Troy today. Bill Craver, the pitcher, will bat 6. He's batting .234 so far this season, and 8 RBIs, 1 for 13 against Spalding, though. Tony Sager will bat 7th. Left fielder batting .312 with 2 RBIs. He's yet to face Spalding this season. Patty Quinn, the catcher, will bat 8, 3 for 11 versus Spalding this season with 4 RBIs and a .203 average across all of his at-bats. Bill Lennon will get the 9 spot. He is batting .244 with 13 RBIs so far this season. He is also 4 for 9 versus Spalding. I forgot to snap before I went live. Totally forgot to Snapchat my peeps before we went live. So say hi to Snapchat, everybody. There you go. I don't know, but I literally use Snapchat for a few friends, and we have some great streaks going on. But that's about it, right? I think my longest streak is still with M, and she's got 2,668 days. There you go. Right. For the visiting Cleveland Forest Cities, Dave Egler will lead things off, center fielder. .426 average, 11 RBIs so far this season. Fred Cohn will bat second, the left fielder. He's got a .175 average, 6 RBIs this season. Deacon White, the catcher, will bat third, batting .294. With 8 RBIs so far this season. Al Spalding, the pitcher, bats cleanup. Imagine your pitcher batting cleanup. He's got .316 average, 7 RBIs so far this season. Chick Fulmer will bat fifth, the third baseman, 8 RBIs, .270 average this season. Denny Mack, shortstop, in the 6th spot for Cleveland. He's got a .275 average with 3 RBIs so far this season. William Johnson, second baseman, is in the 7th spot, .217 average with 7 RBIs so far this season. John Glenn is in the 8th spot, right fielder, .362 average, 7 RBIs this season. George Hubel will get the start at first base. Only 6 at-bats this season. He's been more of a pinch hitter, has Hubel, but he gets the call up today for the Forest Cities. On the mound for Troy is Bill Craver. This should be interesting. He's actually a position player, but they've given him the ball to pitch today. Al Spalding is his opposite on the Cleveland side. He is 8-5 so far this season, but 1 no decision in 14 starts, 4 ERA, a 4.0 ERA, and a 1.51 WHIP. He is 2-0 so far this season against Troy with a 2.49 ERA against the Haymakers. 10:05 a.m. first pitch start. It's cloudy. It's 72 degrees. For those of you that use Celsius, 72 is about 22 degrees. And the wind is blowing in from the left at 10 miles an hour. We're ready to get underway here. We are ready to get underway with this matchup. But first, we got to shout out our first inning sponsor. Raz DeBeer's an awesome FM streamer. He's a very good FM player as well. He's got a solo Pompeii women's save, and he's got a budget network save tonight with Lewitt Gaming. So he'll be live in a few hours. Give him a follow if you haven't already. The fantastic Raz DeBeer is our sponsor for tonight's first inning. Players on the mound, players in the field, batters in the batter's box. We are ready for this one. Jimmy Holden to lead things off. Al Spalding on the mound. Play ball. Let's play some baseball. Live from the National Association grounds in Troy, New York. We're ready for this one. And here comes the first pitch, and that's high. Ball 1. The 1-0. Inside, ball 2. Today's plan, by the way, will be an out-of-the-park doubleheader. We'll do 2 games of baseball, after which we will be done, and I'm going to probably spend the evening finishing the results for the longest save. Here's the 2-0. That's grounded over towards second. That is an error. And that is an error on Denny Mack. So E6 for Jimmy Holland, and the game starts with an error. Exclamation point error, or exclamation point E, I should say. You are up early. It's 10 o'clock. It's not that early. How's things? Welcome in, man. Things are going all right, man. How are you? It's good to have you here, man. Right. I'm at work. That sucks. On a Sunday, that sucks. On break, fair enough, though. Welcome in, man. Al Spalding, I saw we drew you guys in the FA Cup, by the way. That's going to be an interesting game. I hope we win. I hope we win. I'd love to stay up and win the FA Cup. Any more hockey career for me? Yeah. I mean, that's coming back Thursday night. So I'd love a cup run, yeah. Here's the first pitch now to Clipper Flynn. He swung on and missed. That'll be 0-1. Here's the 0-1. And he's tried to bunt that, but he didn't commit to it, and the ball's inside. 1-1. Yeah, I'd love to win the FA. It's been, what, 46 years since we won the FA Cup? Here's the 1-1, and that is ripped into left. And left fielder cannot cut it off, but he can't glove it, and so it will be a swing. It will be a single for Clipper Flynn. This is the furthest I've seen leads in the Cup. This is the furthest I've seen West Ham in the Cup in a very long time. I've seen us make the 5th round quite a few times. I think I've seen us make the 6th round once. Well, twice considering this year we have. But, and I've seen us make the final once. We don't talk about that final. Right, that brings up Ezra Sutton, third baseman. Here's the first pitch to Sutton, and he's ripped that back up the center, base hit. First pitch, base hit. Going to second is Flynn. Going to third is Hallinan. And the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the top of the first. Fred Tracy settles in, center fielder. First pitch to Tracy, swung on and missed. That's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's inside, 1-1. Yeah, I've seen the women make the final once as well. Sorry, I didn't actually have any coffee today. I've seen the women make the final once and lose to City like 4 or 5-0 in the final. Here's the 1-1. That's way inside. 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Right down center. That's lifted into left, but it just lands foul. It'll be 2-2. That was the pitch to hit, and he fouled it off. Here's the 2-2. Inside, ball 3. 3-2 count. Here's the full count. And this is lofted high into right field. Playable. Great catch on the stretch. Absolutely phenomenal catch from John Glenn. Tagging up on the play will be Jimmy Hallinan, and he will score. And it's a sacrifice fly. Clipper Flynn tags from second. He goes to third as well. Jim Foran, the next man in. First pitch to Foran. 1-0 Troy. He's popped this up in the infield. Catcher's there. He makes the grab, and that'll be the second out of the inning. Zig, I'm not giving you the points back. Congratulations. Welcome in now. How are you, man? Good morning to you. I don't want the points back. How are you, man? Hope you're well. Welcome in. Bill Craver settles in. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. First pitch to Craver, and he fouls that off. There's the 0-1. That's inside, but on the inside corner for a called strike. 0-2. There's the 0-2 pitch. That is ripped into deep left, right at the left fielder. He takes a few steps back, and he will make the catch, and the side is retired. 1 run on 2 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go bottom first here in Cleveland, and it's a 1-0 Troy game. Sadly, Crohn's attack last night. Been having a chat with the porcelain goddess all night. I don't know who the porcelain goddess is. That's slang for something that's over my head. But, oh, I know who it is. Okay, never mind. It just hit me. I'm sorry, Zig. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope you're feeling better to this morning or this afternoon. That's right. Kadava. I'm feeling okay right now. Nice. Welcome in, Kadava. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Right. We, as we always do in the middle parts of the innings, we are going to take ourselves a timeout. Because it's the first inning, we're going to take the full 3-minute timeout. Love my beloved battlers, the Troy Haymakers. Nice. We're going to take a full 3-minute timeout to run the ads and get the ad break pushed out in an hour. We'll be back with more in 3 minutes' time. All right, welcome back, everybody. Zig, if you're still here, Zig, and chat, I got something. I was talking about the FM23 save and how I almost got it simmed back up to where it needs to be. But you know what? I forgot an important detail that I think I just had to laugh when I saw it in FM23. There is a chance if we, not if we, because I have to sim to the third round, so we're definitely going to the third round. But there is a chance, because we drew them, that if they win their second qualifying round tie, our third qualifying round opponent is going to be Buddha Glint. Which is just hilarious. Oh, God. Vivo being here wishing I lose. But yeah, welcome back, everybody. Bottom of the first. Position player Bill Craver was given the ball today, and he will start. First pitch incoming to Dave Egler. And check swing. They're going to ask third base, or they're going to ask first base, and the first base umpire says he did not swing. Here's the 1-0. And this one's ripped into right. That's going to land foul, though. 1-1. I don't think it's going to go very well for you today, Kadava, if you want Troy to win. They got a position player starting. Here's the 1-1. And that is inside, ball 2. What are the parameters for a check swing? Does it extend past the elbow if the bat crosses the front of home plate? So if you swing and the barrel of the bat crosses the front of home plate, it counts as a swing. So that's why they appeal down the line, because he has a better look at he has a better side-on look, the umpire does. So for right-handed hitters like this, the appeal goes to first. And for left-handed hitters that stand here, the appeal goes to third. So if you have swing but the barrel doesn't cross first. If you have swing but the barrel doesn't cross home plate, then you were considered to have held up and not swung. Here's the 2-1. And this one flied out into left, and left fielder's there. He's going to grab it, but it's going to bounce. It'll be a base hit. He cuts it off, I should say. It is a base hit for Dave Egler. He's aboard. And he's got a single. QZ, what's good, man? Good to see you, bro. How you doing? That'll bring up Fred Cohn. How was your week, man? It was okay. How was yours? It was fun. It was fun. I will say. Here's the first pitch to Cohn. That's inside. But on the corner of the plate for a called strike. 0-1. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm excited for the franchise hockey manager save, in all honesty, because we're going to, games. The fact that the game on Friday took an hour and a half to commentate means I can get 2 in a night. And the opening season is only 12 regular season games for each team. So, I'm actually going to probably fly through the first few seasons of franchise hockey manager, which is great. Don't get me wrong, I love a slow save, if that wasn't already apparent. But the fact that we're going to have one that we're going to show pretty good progress in is awesome. Here's the 0-1. Bunted back to the mound. The throw over to second. Safe at second. Good running from Dave Egler. Fred Cohn goes to first. Now 2 on, nobody out for Deacon White. Here's the pitch to Deacon White. Inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That's popped up into right field, and that is going to land foul. Here's the 1-1. That is inside, ball 2, ball 2. It's high, ball 2, I should say. There's the 2-1. And that's fouled down the third base side. It'll be 2-2 to count. 2-2 pitch to Deacon White. And that's outside, 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. high, ball 4. And the bases are loaded now with nobody out. Pitcher Al Spalding settles in. First pitch to Spalding. Oh, that's loud. That is loud. We'll drop that down to 17.5. We'll see how that does. But he's fouled that off. Here's the 0-1. And that's going to get away. And is that a wild pitch? It is a wild pitch. Egler comes in to score on the wild pitch. Going to third is Fred Cohn. Going to second is Deacon White. This game is tied. Here's the 1-1 to Spalding. That's high. 2-1. A 2-1 pitch. Grounded over to first. And pitcher gets over there, covers the bag, and that'll be Spalding sat down. Chick Fulmer now the next man in. 2-on-1 out here. Here's the first pitch to Fulmer. That's off the plate away, 1-0. I'm all right, Zig. Did you hear what I had to say about what happened in the TLS sim? Here's the 1-0. That's inside, and that's going to get away again. And coming in to score is Fred Cohn. Nah, I missed it. So you know I've been simming TLS, right? Back in FM 23. Well, I'm forcing us into the third qualifying round because we made it in FM 26. We made the third qualifying round. If they win their second qualifying round tie, my opponent for the third qualifying round is going to be Boda Glimt. Here's the 2-1. And that's it. That's going to get a Jesus. Another wild pitch. 3 wild pitches brings the runs in. And Cleveland's taking a 3-1 lead. 3 runs on just 1 hit. Not a good showing. Here's the 3-1 to 3-0 to Chick Fulmer, and he's walked him. No, that's on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Sorry. And lost 1-0 in aggregate versus Copenhagen. That sucks. That sucks. Here's the 3-1. And this is grounded back to the shortstop. Throw over to first. That's inside. Now I have dropped down to Conference League versus Hajduk. Please beat them. Please beat Hajduk. Listen, I know my football club of choice is going through a lot of shit right now. Mainly because the owner's a horrible human being. And he's protecting another horrible human being by keeping him in a job that he shouldn't hold. However, when Hajduk came over here last summer to play in the Generation Adidas Cup, which happens every year, under 15s, under 12s, Hajduk had 2 players sent off in the game against the Union due to racial slurs. So, please do me a favor and beat those bastards. Even if it is just a video game. I ain't going to say all that, Zig. I ain't going to say all that. I'm sure there's people in Croatia who are fucking lovely people. You know, but it's not a good look. And those are under 15, so those are like 14, 15, 13 to 15-year-olds who have been taught that stuff. Do you know what I mean? That's not right. That's horrible. Right, here's Denny Mack settling in. Nobody on, 2 out. First pitch to Mack, sorry. And he's going to take that on the outside part of the plate for a called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Inside, 1-1. listen, I don't like to generalize. I'm trying to cut that out of my vernacular, and but I mean it's definitely very discouraging, right, when that happens. So here's the 1-1, and that one is taken on the inside corner for a called strike. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2. That's outside. 2-2 now. 2-2 pitch to Denny Mack is fouled off. We'll do it again. Here's the 2-2 again. High, ball 3. And the count is full, 3-2. Even I get stunned for not being, or shunned for not being ball. Yeah, it's so stupid. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. And Denny Mack, is aboard. Bobby! Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. You know a lot more Slovenian than you give yourself credit for, I think, Sid. You're like around a B1 level. That's pretty decent, you know. Here's William Johnson, second baseman, 1 on, 2 out. How you doing, Bobby? Good to see you, bro. Nice stream yesterday, by the way. And that one is taken inside on a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Off the plate away, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Throw over to first, and the runner is back safely. I saw a video the other day, a baseball video of catchers who are really good at tipping their pitchers to throw to second base. And the catcher would have the glove out like this, and he would make a slight movement, like he would be like, and like literally the signal like closing the glove twice means throw to second. So the catcher would be like this, you'd sit there, and then you'd be like, and then the pitcher would just immediately toss to second. And the runner had no clue. You know what I mean? And that's good catcher work right there. Yeah, enjoyed last night. Tried streaming Pez, but kept getting black screens. We'll look into it when I'm home. So whenever I have that, I usually change the mode that I'm capturing it. So usually, like, I'll try game capture first, and I always tell my OBS whether I do game capture or window capture. I always tell it, capture a specific executable, and then I point it directly to the executable. That does not always work on game capture. And when it doesn't, I will always point it on window capture. The only thing I have to remember is whenever you capture, one piece of really good advice for any streamer out there, and I'm not this oracle be-it-all, know-it-all, but one piece of really good advice for any streamer out there is, if you use window capture instead of game capture, turn your Steam in-game overlay off for that game. So, for example, Football Manager, I have game capture. So if I enable the Steam in-game overlay and I bring the overlay up, you guys are not going to see it. However, Out of the Park and Franchise Hockey Manager do not work with game capture. They work with window capture. So if I bring the Steam in-game overlay up, you will see it. So it's really good advice to turn your Steam in-game overlay off for games that you use window capture on. Just try window. That's all I do. I just try window. And usually that works for me. Right. Here's the 1-1 to William Johnson, and he's going to take that high for a ball, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. That's grounded over to second. The throw on to first is a bad throw. Is it a bad throw? It's a bad throw. It's an E4. The inning will continue. The inning will continue. Second baseman Jimmy Hallinan gets credited for the error. watching Feyenoord Ajax. Could have taken a nap for the first 45. I freaking hate games like that, man. Here's right fielder John Glenn, 2 on, 2 out. First pitch to Glenn is right down the chute for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Check swing. They're going to ask the first baseman, and he didn't go, says first base umpire. 1-1 now. Here's the 1-1. Rounded back over to, and that's another bad throw by the second baseman. Hollandin's had 2 chances, and he makes 2 bad stops. Or he makes 2 bad throws, I should say. 2 bad throws by Hollanden back to back. And they can't get out of the inning, kid Troy. Glenn goes to second. Johnson's on third. Denny Mack scores. It's 4-1. George Hubel steps in. Here's Hubel. Swung on and missed. 0-1 on that one. Hubel just 6 at-bats this season. 3 hits in them. There's the 0-1. That's taken on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. 0-2 to Hubel. The 0-2 is fouled off. There's the 0-2. Right back up the middle, base hit, and Hubel's got an RBI. Going to third is Glenn, and scoring on the play is Johnson. 5-1 Cleveland. And in the first inning, we've batted around the order. Egler is back up. He singled his first at bat. First pitch to Egler, and that is taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That is at the lettering for a strike. It's 0-2. The 0-2. Ripped into right, but drifts foul. Pingu asked me about the West Ham result, and I'm like, they cannot be any worse than the Union. They cannot be any worse than the Union. Here's the 0-2, and that is high and away, ball 1. 1-2. High, 2-2. 2-2 pitch, ripped into left, and that's foul. The 2-2. Rounded over to third. Throw one to first is in time, and the side is retired. 5 runs on 3 hits. And I'm sorry, 5 runs on, 3 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go to the top of the second. Cleveland has grabbed a 5-1 lead. What did the Union do? Lost again yesterday. Lost 5 played, Zig, 5 lost. It's the worst start for a team that won the Supporters' Shield the prior season in MLS history. Worst start by a defending Supporters' Shield champion. Yeah. At least you scored one this time. We have 2 goals. We have 3 goals all season, and one of them was a penalty. So, right, second inning, new inning means new sponsor. They replaced too many players. They got rid of way too many key players. Like, we've lost Glesnes, Ua, and we lost Wagner. Right? And Quinn Sullivan is still hurt. So your starting right winger, your starting left back, your starting assistant captain and center back and your starting striker are all gone. And the guy that they signed to replace Ua looks like he's going to be a complete dickhead, because Alado came on his first game of the season, right, Zig? He got sent off for a straight red card for swearing at the referee, right? He went up to the referee, called him something nasty. The ref went straight to the pocket, said, "Get off the pitch," right? Union appealed. MLS denied the appeal. Then, yesterday, he was not dressed for the game, and the reports came out this morning that Bradley Carnell sat him out of the game as punishment because he did not show up to training on time this week. So they said he was an hour late to training in the week. So Carnell told him he's not playing until he shows up on time. So, which I fully back Carnell for that, absolutely. If a player doesn't show up on time, he doesn't play. I understand that. I'm fully with the manager on that one. But this is the guy that's supposed to place Mikel Ua, and it don't look too good. He's 20 years old, and he's acting like this, by the way. Right, top second, we got a new sponsor. Kavacom is an awesome WWE 2K26 and out-of-the-park baseball streamer. He is live right now playing through his Perfect Team playoffs. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Really awesome guy to talk to. Big shout out to the great Kavacom, who sponsors today's second inning. Pony Sager be the first man up. It took just 17 pitches for Spalding in the first inning. It took 46 for Bill Craver. First pitch is going to be on the out, just off the plate, I should say, away. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Check swing. They're going to ask. Third base umpire says he went around, so it's a strike. 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Off the plate away, 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Fanned at and missed, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch to Pony Sager is popped up into right field. Is the right fielder going to get there? No, it lands foul. Thank you for the follow, Spud. Welcome in. Big ups, big ups. How you doing, man? How did you find the stream, if you don't mind me asking? Here we go. Right. 2-2 pitch incoming to Pony Sager. And that's inside, ball 3. 3-2. New thing for me, never seen commentary like this. Nice. Well, welcome to the stream. We do this for Out of the Park Baseball. We do it for Unreal Tournament. We do it for NHL 2K6. And we do it for Franchise Hockey Manager 12. So we have about four different games we commentate. I also play Football Manager, but that's not one I commentate. I actually play that game. I should do it for FM. You know what? I'm actually enjoying the FM save. I would do it for FM, but I'm actually really enjoying the FM save. So, yeah, but we do play all of it. FM is back next weekend. Right, here's the full count pitch to Pony Sager. That's high, ball 4. And Sager is aboard on a 7-pitch walk. Speaking of Unreal Tournament, by the way, I joined a Discord last night that I got tipped off was about it existing. There might be some Unreal Tournament 99 coming to the channel. I think there's an Assault Cup that's starting up soon with the Unreal Tournament 99. So, you know, it depends on if I'm not at the Union or whatnot, but definitely that's a possibility that we're going to have some live Unreal Tournament coming to the channel again. Here's Patty Quinn, the catcher. 1 on, nobody out. First pitch to him, and that one is high, 1-0. The 1-0. Fandat missed, 1-1. But we play everything. FM, Out of the Park, Franchise Hockey Manager, NHL 2K6, Action Time and Time Minute Squad, Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation, F1 2012, Rise of Nations, and Hearts of Iron. And Peng Ya. I need to bring Peng Ya back at some point. Right, the 1-1. And that is on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. It's 1-2. Yeah, very much a variety streamer. I actually keep the schedule on Twitch as well. If you're interested, that has everything that we're playing. I only have it through next week because I usually set it at the beginning of the month. But yeah, we have all that going on. Here's 1-2, and that's fouled off. It'll be 1-2 still. 1-2 pitch, high, ball 2, and it's 2-2. So you did your commentary for decades, Benny? What's your story? So I've only been commentating for like, well, it's going on 7 years now. I started as a CS2 commentator. You know, I did not CS2, CSGO. I did Counter-Strike for 4.5 years. And then retired in 2024 from CS. I also did the F1 game. I did a few leagues in the F1 game, and I did Assetto Corsa Competizione as well, some endurance racing. Could make a sleep book sound exciting. Let's do this pitch real quick. I'll continue. Here's the 2-2. That's ripped into that's right at the second baseman. He's got it. He's got it. I thought that was going to squeak through in the center field, but he got it. And that's 1 away. Brings up Al Spalding. He reached via an error his last at bat. I'm sorry, that brings up Bill Lennon. That brings up Jimmy Holland. He reached via an error his last at bat. Right. So I've done commentary for about 7 years. No, 6.5. I started September 2019 with Counter-Strike. Went all the way through to, I retired from Counter-Strike March 2024. I've done the F1 game for a few leagues for Apex Online Racing. I've done Apex Online Racing's endurance racing and Assetto Corsa Competizione. And I've always loved commentary. I used to, when I was a kid, I used to like play the NHL 2K games and commentate them as I was playing them. And I used to do the same for Dead or Alive, and because I was a big Dead or Alive player. But when I was real little, like really, really little, we're talking like age 6 or 7, I was really into ice hockey. Ice hockey was my favorite sport back then. And I used to have these big notebooks, and I used to sit down in front of the TV with a pen in hand, and I used to write the commentary. Like I would write play-by-play in the notebooks of the Flyers games. So I've always been a fan of the commentary. I enjoy it so much. Here's the first pitch to Holland, and that is right at the. Was that a throw over to first? No. Was that a foul ball? What the hell happened there? Oh, they pitched out. They pitched out. Okay, so it's a strike. It's a called strike, And the catcher caught it, immediately threw it to first to try and pick off Sager, but he didn't go. He's safe at first. And the count is 0-1. I thought it was a foul ball that happened so quick. Here's the 0-1. That's grounded over to third. The throw on to second for 1. They got him. It'll be a fielder's choice. 5-4 fielder's choice. And Hollander goes to first. They throw out Tony Sager at, I'm sorry, that was Bill Lennon. I beg your pardon. I'm skipping Lennon. So 5-4 fielder's choice. Lennon goes to first. Sager's thrown out at second. Here's the first pitch. That is right down the chute. 0-1. IX up 1-0. Nice. Milk and Rowan are happy. By the way, I'm waiting for DM Stewart to show up. I know he's going to be happy. Hollander reaching be an error his last at bat. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Jimmy Hollander. That's inside, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled that one off into the seats, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled off again. Here's the 1-2. And that's outside, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch now. And that's fouled. We do it again. Here's the 2-2, and he's popped this up in foul territory. Third baseman's there. He makes the grab, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, one man left on base. We're going bottom second here in Cleveland. The Forest Cities lead 5-1. We're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Welcome back. Bottom second in Cleveland. Forest Cities have a 5-1 lead. Fred Cohn to lead things off. Bill Craver still on the mound. Here's the first pitch to Cohn. I take it that's Dutch you spoke, Latte. And that one is taken high for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed, and that's a 1-1. Welcome in, Swanky. Thank you for the lurk. I'm lurking over there, brother. Oh, boy. I can't remember who made me feel old the other day. It was the 1-1. And that is a high ball, too. I think I heard something that said people born in 2007 are 18 years old. And I'm like, no way. No way. Here's the 2-1. Off the plate away, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch to Fred Cone. High ball 4. And the leadoff man is walked. Deacon White will settle in. He walked his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. What's up, Viva? Viva. That's on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Viva, I got news for you, dude. I've been simming my, TLS save in FM 23 because I'm going to go back to 23. Well, I'm duplicating the results as best as possible, and I made in 26. We made the third qualifying round of the Conference League. Well, in 23, when I'm simming it, I have to get, I'm forcing us back into the third round of the Conference League qualifying. Yeah, my opponent, if they win their second round tie, is going to be Boda Glint. So, I might be playing your club for a spot in the fourth qualifying round. Right, here's the 0-1 to Deacon White. Welcome in, by the way, Viva. Oh, I hope you crash out. God damn it. I have added that, by the way, as a new command. There is a crash out command now. I think it's it's literally exclamation point crash out. We also didn't record both errors, so I'm going to put that one. But right, 0-2 to Deacon White. Here's the pitch. Fouled off again. And we to go again, 0-2. That's inside, but that gets past the catcher. It's a wild pitch. And Fred Cone takes second for free. Here's the 1-2. That is lined into right, but it just lands foul. I took that inspiration from Starry Bunt, by the way. So exclamation point crash out is inspired by Starry Bunt. Here's the 1-2. That's grounded over to first. And no, it's not a good throw. The throw is so poor. It's an E3. That'll give 4 in an error. Yeah, 4 in on the bad throw. Going to second on the throw is Deacon White. Coming in to score is Fred Cone. It is 6-1. Yeah. So if I ever when I get mad and rage in Football Manager, you can totally put exclamation point crash out and it would be valid. So I'm like, what's better than who doesn't crash out at FM? Well, now we can count it. Right. Al Spalding settles in. Runner on second, nobody out. First pitch to Spalding, and that is high, 1-0. That's actually, I'm sorry, that they called that a strike. That looked way high. Way high. Here's the 0-1. Now that's inside. And that's 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Fanned out and missed. 1-2. The 1-2. And that's going to get by the catch. That's a wild pitch too, isn't it? Yeah, that's a wild pitch. Going to third is Deacon White. The 2-2 pitch now to Al Spalding. And that's going to get by. That's going to be a wild pitch. And no, it's a pass ball. That one is on the catcher this time. Coming in to score is Deacon White. 7-1 Cleveland. Which sports do you like the most? Football for you, but I like some others too. So for me, it's football the most. Baseball is number 2. Ice hockey is number 3. And I would say probably Formula 1 maybe is number 4. Cricket's number 5. I do like some cricket. Rugby's number 6 and NASCAR's number 7. Those are probably my top 7. Not a big I don't really like basketball, no. I only watch Olympic basketball. That's the only real form of basketball I like. I like the concept of the NCAA tournament that runs over here. It's such a great sporting event. But I just can't watch. I can't watch it. I'm so bored by it, unfortunately. So, have you tried to create new sports? Not really. Ruined by the NIL? No, the NIL. You mean the NIT? Your design and rules? Not really. Good afternoon, Sass. The NIT, I actually really like the NIT. The NIT used to be the national like it used to be the bigger tournament. I'm doing the driving academy in Euro Truck Simulator. I had to think about what game. Nah, the NIL. Oh, yeah. But it means everyone just bounces around different colleges every year, and it's way harder for fairy tale runs. Yeah, the portal is the transfer portal, that whole situation. Yeah, that awful. You know, I was bored, so driving for fun. Nice. Here's the 3-2. That's high. He's walked him. And Spalding is aboard. Not doing good, Craver. He's a position player. He shouldn't be pitching, but. And teams are also just recruiting ex-pros from Europe. And I was like, yeah, it's insane. Did you use the stream key with the? No, I didn't. I didn't put OAuth in front of it. I literally just put the stream key in it. So right now I can launch the file again. So right now it just says it's live _ is how it starts. Good. Okay. There you go. No, it should just be the key. Yeah, the key is in there. I can connect it now, and I'm connected. It says connected. Go ahead and type something. Yeah, it's nothing. I'm seeing Latte. I'm seeing Bobby, and it's just disconnected again. So, have you heard? I never heard of that sport in my life. Listen, I don't use the S word unless I'm talking about Major League Soccer. That's about it. Odd, give me a sec. You got it. Association. Yeah, wow. But I'm not going to take Brits. I'm not going to take any. I'm not listening to any British person give me stick for the S word, because they literally have a show over there called Soccer Saturday. And they had another show over there called Soccer AM. I am not listening to any complaints from anybody British about the use of that word. Right, here's the pitch to Chick Fulmer. 1 on, nobody out. He's popped it up. First baseman comes over, he makes the grab, and Fulmer's retired. Yeah, but the Football Saturday doesn't have the same ring, does it? It's not my problem. You're right. You're absolutely right, Bobby. That's not my problem. But I call it football anyway. I call it football and American football. Here's the this is Denny Mack now settling in. He walked his last at bat. First pitch, 1 on, 1 out, and that one is taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That is off the plate. That's going to be a wild pitch. And going to second is Spalding on the wild pitch. The folder where you place the program, have it created settings and the data file. Let me know and I should wait. I have settings and I have a 2026-03-22.json. That's all I have. I can snip this to you. Copy and paste. There you go. I sent you a snip of everything in the folder. We got the footy. Yeah, literally, there's like rugby football league, or rugby league football, rugby union football, Aussie rules football, American football, association football, or American football / gridiron football. Yeah. I believe Australia calls it, correct me if I'm wrong, Gadava, but I believe you guys mainly refer to it as soccer too, because when you guys say football, it usually means Aussie. It means Aussie rules football. Right, here's the 1-1 pitch to Denny Mack. That's high, 2-1. So Forest are winning and we are losing, which is just awful. Yeah, too many football codes. Got to differentiate. Yeah, exactly. Here's the 2-1. That's fouled off, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. And that is a bad pitch. Good Lord. That's a pass ball. That's on catcher Patty Quinn. And Al Spalding goes to the third. Here's the 3-2. Ball 4. Denny Mack has walked. Runners on the corners, 1 out. And finally, Troy's going to pull the plug on Bill Lennon. We got a pitching change. I'm sorry, on Bill Craven. Not Bill Lennon, Bill Craven. So Craver only lasts 1 1/3. (7-1) Cleveland. Here's Harry right now. William Johnson selling, and he reached via an error his last at bat. First pitch, 2. John throw over to first, and the runner is back in time. And that one's outside for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. On the inside part of the plate for a called strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Grounded over to third. Throw over to second for 1. On to first. Double play. The side is retired. Around the horn they go. 5, 4, 3. Double play. And that retires the side. 2 runs 2 runs on literally no hits. And they leave a man aboard. They leave 2 men aboard. We go to the top of the 3rd. Cleveland has got a 7-1 lead. 2 3s, 4 spots due up for Troy. It'll be Clipper Flynn, the first man in. New inning means it's time for a new sponsor. Coach Zanko is an awesome Slovenian-based football manager streamer. He might have a crash out himself once I fully go back to FM23. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Awesome streamer, king of the youth only save, and he's part of the network save with Zig and Bubba McGinty. The excellent Coach Zanko is our sponsor for today's 3rd inning. Right. Here we go. Clipper Flynn will settle in, and here's the first pitch to him. He fanned on that one. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's missed inside, 1-2. The 1-2. Fouled off. Remains 1-2. Here's the 1-2. And that's ripped into left, base hit. And Clipper Flynn, the leadoff man, is aboard here for the Troy Haymakers. Ezra Sutton, the next man up. He singled his first at bat. First pitch to Sutton is taken on the outside corner for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Ezra Sutton. That's inside, ball 1. And that's going to get by. That looks like a wild pitch. No, it's a pass ball. And Flynn goes to second. Runner on second, nobody out. Here's the 1-1. And that's fouled off. 1-2 now. The 1-2 pitch. Off the plate away. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. It's fouled off. It'll remain 2-2. Here's the 2-2 now. Ripped in the left, way up there, but foul. Almost stayed fair. But it just hung foul. Here's the 2-2 again. Check swing. They're going to go to first base. He did not go. That was very close. Here is the full count pitch. He's grounded that back up to the mound. Throw over to first, and that's in time. Flynn does not move on the play, and that's going to bring up Fred Tracy. He had an RBI sack his last time. A sack fly. Here's the first pitch to him, and swung on and missed. That's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Check swing. Did they go? Third base, he did not go. Here's the 1-1. That is right at the lettering. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. He's fouled that off. 1-2 still. The 1-2. And that is inside, ball 2. 2-2 pitch now. Chop foul. We'll do it again. The 2-2. Ripped into center. That's going to get down, base hit. And Fred Tracy's aboard on a single. Going to third base is Clipper Flynn. And it's runners on the corners for one out with one out here for Troy. That'll bring up Jim Foran. He popped up to the catcher his last at bat. First pitch to Foran. He's going to take that for a called strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Ripped to short. Over to second. Oh, it's a bad throw. It's a bad throw. And it's going to go down as an E6. Jim Foran's aboard via a error by Denny Mack, his second. A bad throw means it's time to hit that exclamation point E, because we've had a fumbly-wumbly. And going to second is Fred Tracy. Coming in to score is Clipper Flynn. And Troy's made it 7-2. Here's Harry Wright, his first at bat in this game. First pitch to Wright. He's going to take that on the inside corner for a called strike. It's 0-1. There's the 0-1. Waved at and missed. 0-2. The 0-2, that's way off the plate away. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Inside, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Off the plate away, 3-2. Here's the 3-2. And that is ripped into center, base hit. And Harry Wright has got a knock. Foran to second. Tracy to third. And the bases are loaded with one out. Tony Sager, the next man up. He walked his first at bat. Here's the first pitch. Check swing. They're going to ask third base umpire. He did not go. And it's going to be 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Ripped right at the third baseman. He's got it. Safe is the call. Safe is the call at first. Very close play at first. Very close play. So the third baseman caught it. The runner on first, that's Harry Wright, had taken a few steps off the bag. Immediately had to get back to the bag to tag up on the caught ball. And he just gets in there. They were inches away from ending the inning. That brings up Patty Quinn. He lined out to the second baseman his first at bat. First pitch to Quinn. And that is off the plate high, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That is over the plate for a called strike. It's 1-1. The even count pitch. Waved at and missed. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. High ball 2. 2-2. Bases loaded here for Troy. 2 outs. The 2-2 is popped up and playable in center field. Center field. Oh no! Center fielder's there. And it drops in front of him. And Patty Quinn, they're going to say it's a hit. Patty Quinn's got an RBI single. Going to second is Harry Wright. Going to third is Jim Foran. Scoring is Fred Tracy, 7-3. That was definitely playable. That brings up Bill Lennon. Lennon reached via a fielder's choice his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Lennon. And he's ripped this into center, base hit, and Bill Lennon's got an RBI single, and the inning will continue. Going to third is Wright. Coming in to score is Jim Foran. Going to second is Patty Quinn, and it's 7-4 for Cleveland. Top of the order, Jimmy Holland now. He's 0 for 2. This has 1 for 2. No, he's not 1 for 2. No, that was an error on the shortstop. I got 3 errors for Troy. Wait, who made the 3rd error for Troy? Jim Foran. Oh, yeah. I'm only 1 error for, they only have 1 error for Denny Mack. So they credited, they've changed the error in the first inning to an infield hit, which means now there were 3 hits in that inning. Okay. Here's the first pitch to Hollinen. And Hollinen's ripped this into left. That's drifting foul. It will just land foul. Here's the 0-1. And that's Fandat missed. It's going to get by the catcher. Coming in to score is Harry Wright, and it's 7-5. Lennon gets the second. Going to third is Patty Quinn. And it's 0-2 count here. 2-run ball game now. And here's the pitch to Jimmy Hollinen. That's way off the plate. 1-2. The 1-2. Ripped right at the first baseman. He's got it. And the side is retired. 4 runs on 5 hits. And they leave 2 aboard. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. 7-5, Cleveland leads. We're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Right, welcome back. Bottom 3rd. Cleveland holding on to a 2-run lead. John Glenn will lead things off. First pitch from Harry Wright. Glenn reached via an error his first at bat. That's ripped into right. That's a base hit. And leadoff man aboard for Cleveland. George Hubel, next man in. Hubel singled his last at bat. He's got an RBI. First pitch to Hubel, and that's ripped right at the shortstop. He's got it. The throw over to first, and the runner is back safely. Back to the top of the order, Dave Egler. He is 1 for 2 today. First pitch to Egler. Swung on and missed. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Ripped right at the third baseman. He's got it. And that'll be the second out of the inning. Fred Cohn, the next man up. He's one for. Hang on. It says Cohn is 0 for 0. But he only has one base on ball. So how the hell does that work? Because I have him singling in the first inning. I mean, he had to reach base somehow because he scored a run. Right? He's got a run to his name, does he not? Fred Cohn's got 2 runs to his name. Whatever, game. Right. Here's the first pitch. I have him at 1 for 2. That's a called strike on the inside part of the plate. 0-1 to count. There's the throw over to first, and the runner is back safely. Here's the 0-1, and that is off the plate high, 1-1. 1-1 pitch. That is right at the lettering, 1-2. 1-2 pitch to Fred Cohn, and that is low, 2-2. A 2-2. High, 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. That's pop foul into the seats down the left field side. Won't go again at 3-2. The 3-2. And this is ripped into left. That's going to drift into the seats, or at least towards the seats, foul. The 3-2. Fouled off again. The 10th pitch of this at-bat, the 3-2. Right back up the middle, base hit. Going to second is John Glenn. And I'm sorry, Glenn rounded second. He went to third. And Fred Cohn's aboard with a single. Here's the pitch to Deacon White, and that is taken for a ball, 1-0. White is 0 for 1 with a walk. 1-0. That is on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. 1-1. 1-1 pitch. That is lined into center. Is it going to be playable? Yes, the center fielder's there. He makes the grab, and the side is retired. No runs on 2 hits. And they leave 2 aboard. We go to the top of the third. Troy 5, Cleveland 7. New inning means it's time for a new sponsor. Route 1 FM is an amazing football manager streamer who's got a great save with his local non-league side, Malden and Tiptree, where he's trying to take them to the top of the English pyramid. He's got them in the Prem. So definitely check him out. Route 1 FM is our sponsor for today's 4th inning. Al Spalding back on the mound. Clipper Flynn, the man in the box to lead things off. It is the 2-3-4 spots once again for Troy. Flynn is 2 for 2 so far today. First pitch to him. And that is below that is right at the knees for a called strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. And that is grounded over to third. Throw from third is in there. And that is 1 away. Ezra Sutton, next man up, 1 for 2 today. I hit the 50K frogs right now. Nice. Nice. What can 50K get you? 50K, well, you can do anything you want except for make me do the worm or unretire me. There you go. Here's the 1-2 to Ezra Sutton. Or, I'm sorry, Ezra Sutton was 1-2 today. Here's the first pitch to Sutton. And that is on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here is the 0-1 pitch. And that one is at the knees, 0-2. 0-2 pitch to Ezra Sutton. Check swing. They're going to ask first base. He did not go, says the first baseman. Here's the 1-2. Off the plate away, 2-2. I made a little wall of text as a Discord DM after the stream. Have you really? Okay. That's right. Only way to, oh. You said after stream, and I'm literally reading it right now. You know what? I have an old, you know what the crazy thing is? I have an old Twitch account that I don't use. And I have the password saved for it, so I can log into it. Okay, cool. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, cool. And just you that. Yeah, I'll handle that. I'll handle that after stream. But yeah, I do have actually. I was going to run a women's Counter-Strike tournament way back in the day. I was trying to get. I never got the funding for it, but I made the account on Twitch, and so I have that account still. I have that account, and I have the Gmail account that's listed to, associated with it still, right? So I'll just use that. But yeah, I even had a Twitter, but I axed the Twitter, and that's the only thing I've axed out of it because I have no idea how to axe the. I have no clue how to axe the Twitch account, right? So I never did. Right. But I can just use that. Yeah. Here's the 2-2 to Ezra Sutton. And that's fouled off. Doubleheader today for the baseball. We're going to do 2 games. Here's the 2-2 again. And this one is popped up into right field, drifting foul, and it will land foul. The 2-2. Ripped foul down the third base side. Stays 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. That is popped up in left field, drifting foul. It's going to land into seats. The 2-2 again. And that's grounded right back up to the mound. Throw over to first is in time. Fred Tracy, next man up. 1 for 1 with a sacrifice fly and a single. First pitch to Tracy. And that's inside, ball 1. We are going to have to reboot out of the park between games, just FYI. Here's the 1-0. And that's fanned at and missed, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That is below the knees, 2-1. I can show you guys perfect team if you want. I've been playing around in perfect team for a little bit. I finished, I think, 68 what was it, like, no, like 66 and 76 or something, whatever makes 162 games. 62, something like that. 66 and 76. No, 76 and 86. I think was my record. First week ever first week ever playing perfect team. I'm in the low bronze league, which is second lowest. When I set the lineup, I only had one gold player. Going into next week, I have one perfect rated player, about 13 diamonds, and quite a few golds now. So I don't think I'll win low bronze next week, but I should be more competitive in low bronze next week. Here's the 2-1. That's inside, ball 3. 3-1 pitch. And that is called. Strike 2 at the knees, 3-2. 3-2 pitch. Popped it up. In foul territory. Third baseman's there. He makes the grab, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. They go down in order. We go bottom 4th, 7-5 Cleveland. 4, 5, 6 spots due up for the Forest Cities. Al Spalding will be the first man up. We're going to take ourselves a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Welcome back. Bottom 4th here in Cleveland. 7-5 baseball game. Al Spalding settles in. It's still Harry Red on the mound. First pitch to Spalding. And that is taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Troy looking for just their 5th win of the season. This is their 22nd game played. Here's the 0-1. And that is ripped into right. Right fielder's there. He's got it. And Spalding is retired. Cleveland looking for their 10th win. This being their 15th game of the season. So still 17 more for them after this one. Chick Fulmer will settle in. He's 0 for 2. First pitch to Fulmer. And he has ripped this into right. That's drifting foul. That'll land foul. Here's the 0-1. And that is taken on the outside corner for a called strike. Didn't look like Fulmer liked that too much, but umpire says it just caught the black. And it's 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Fulmer now. And he has popped this one up in foul territory on the left-hand side. It will land foul. Here's the 0-2 again. Fouled off again. We go back 0-2 again. That's outside, ball one. Here's the 1-2. That's inside, 2-2. 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Rip right back up the middle base hit. And Fulmer survives and gets himself a knock. 1-on-1 out here. Denny Mack up to the plate. Mack has drawn 2 walks so far today. First pitch, he's going to bunt it down and throw over to first. That's in time. Sack bunt for Denny Mack. That moves Fulmer over to second with 2 outs. William Johnson will settle in 0-2. First pitch to him, and that is taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1, and that's ripped into left. Fair ball, says the umpire, and Denny Mack has got himself a single. Rounding or going to third is Chick Fulmer. And there's runners on the corners now, 2 outs. John Glenn will settle in, 1-2. First pitch to Glenn, and that's taken below the knees. 1-0. 1-0 is ripped into left center, way back there. That's going to be off the warning track. It bounces in the warning track. This is going to be some huge runs. Going to third, sliding in and safe at third is John Glenn. And it's a 2 RBI triple for the spaceman. Scoring from first is Johnson. Chick Fulmer could walk it home from third. And it's 9-5 Cleveland. That brings up George Hubel. 1-2 today with an RBI. First pitch is a called strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Hubel, and that's fouled off. 0-2 now. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled off. We do it again, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Check swing. They're going to ask third base. He did not go, says the third base umpire. 1-2 now. The 1-2 pitch. Ripped into left center. That's a base hit. And that's more runs. A second RBI for Hubel, is coming in to score will be John Glenn. And Hubel's got himself an RBI double. And it's made this game 10-5. Dave Egler will settle in. He is 1-3. First pitch to Egler. And that one's taken for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0. That's fouled off into the seats, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Popped up. Drifting towards the right-hand side, and it will land foul. The 1-2. Lined into right center. The center fielder is going to cut it off, but it's a base hit for Jimmy Hallinan. And Hubel gets to third. And Hallinan's got himself his second knock of the afternoon. Fred Cone, the next man in. Cone is 2-2. Here's the first pitch. High, ball 1. The 1-0. That's going to get by the catcher. That's a pass ball. That's on Patty Quinn. Coming to the score is George Hubel. Going to second is Dave Egler. 11-5. Here's the 2-0, and that's inside, but it catches the piece of the plate. 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's high. Ball 3. 3-1. Hitters count now to Fred Cohn. The 3-1 pitch, and that's taken on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. It's 3-2. The 3-2.
Strike 3.
Strike 3. He struck him out looking, and it's a backwards K for Fred Cohn. The side is retired. 4 runs on 5 hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We go to the top of the 5th. Cleveland extend the lead 11-5. 5, 6, 7 spot due up for Troy. It'll be Jim Foran, the next man up, or the first man up. But we have got ourselves a new inning, which means we have got ourselves a new sponsor. A1 Ward is a phenomenal streamer. He's got an awesome content with the Tuesday Waffle. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Amazing save. Here he is playing FM 26. Just about he's miles on side. Oh my God. Right, give him a follow if you haven't already. He's superb. A1 Ward is our sponsor for today's 5th inning. Jim Foran settles in. Al Spalding on the mound still for Cleveland. Here we go. First pitch to Foran. It's fouled off. It'll be 0-1. 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Fanned at and missed. 1-2 now. The 1-2 pitch. That's off the plate away. 2-2. 2-2 pitch. This is popped up into left field, and that's going to land foul. We'll do it again at 2-2. There's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled it off again. Still 2-2. The 2-2 now. Off the plate away. 3-2. The full count pitch. That's ripped into center, but high and playable. Center fielder's there. He's got it, and that will retire the first out. Harry Wright, the next man in. He singled his last at bat. First pitch to Wright. And that is on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Fanned at and missed. 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That's off the plate away. 1-2 now. The 1-2 pitch. Grounded foul down the third base side. 1-2. And that is, where did that miss? It's 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Off the plate high. 3-2. The count is full. Here's the pitch. And that's ripped into right field, base hit. And Harry Wright's got his second knock of the afternoon. So Wright's aboard with 1 out here in the 5th. Brings up Pony Sager. He's 0 for 1. First pitch to Sager, and that is taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Grounded back to the mound. Throw over to second. Did they get him? They got him. So fielder's choice for Pony Sager. 1-4. He goes to first. They throw right out at second. And now there's 2 outs. Patty Quinn due up next. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. First pitch to Quinn, and he's fouled that into the seats. Here's the 0-1. Grounded to second. Throw one to first is in time, and the side is retired. No runs on 1 hit, and they leave 1 aboard. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 11-5 Cleveland. It's the 3, 4, 5 spots due up for the Forest Cities. Deacon White will be the man to lead things off. We're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Right, welcome back. Bottom 5th here in Cleveland. 11-5 for the Forest Cities. Still Harry Wright on the mound. Deacon White settling in. First pitch to Deacon White. He's fouled that off, 0-1. There's the 0-1 pitch. And that is taken high for a ball, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Off the plate away. Ball 2. The 2-1 pitch has popped up deep into center field, and that's over the center fielder's head. He misjudged it. And he definitely had space to play it, but he's misjudged it, and Deacon White has got himself a triple. A leadoff triple for Deacon White. Brings up Al Spalding. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch to Spalding, and he's fanned at that one and missed, 0-1. There's the 0-1. That's popped up into left field. Lands foul. What a great weekend for football. Union lose. West Ham are losing, and Forest are winning. That's it. What a great weekend of football. God damn it. God damn it. Here's the 0-2. Check swing. They're going to look, and he just didn't go, says the first base umpire. Here's the 1-2, and that is popped up into right field. Playable. Right fielder's there. He's got it. And that'll be the first out. Does he tag up on the play? He does. Tagging up on the play. It's a sack. It's a sacrifice fly. So RBI, F9 sack for Al Spalding. Coming in to score will be Deacon White. It's 12-5. Groningen playing AZ right now. Going to lurk a bit. Sounds good, Bobby. Thank you very much, sir. Right. Chick Fulmer will settle in. He's 1 for 3. First pitch to Fulmer. And he's taking that for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. On the outside corner for a strike. 0-2. Here's the 0-2. He's taking that high and in. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. He's fouled that off. Still 1-2. Here's the 1-2. In the dirt. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Lined into right center field, base hit. And that's a single for Chick Fulmer. That'll bring up Denny Mack. Oh, we got a pitching change. We have got a pitching change. So Harry Wright goes 4. Frank Norton will be the new pitcher. Denny Mack settles in. He's not had a registered at bat yet because he's drawn 2 walks and a sack. That's going to be taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 inside. 1-1. The 1-1. Off the plate away, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Fanned at and missed. It's 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Popped up, drifting into the left field seats, and that's where it will land. Here's the 2-2. He's fouled that off still, 2-2. 2-2 again. Rounded over to first. Catcher gets over, he makes the play. So that's a 3-1. Chick Fulmer gets to second base, but now 2 outs in the inning. That'll bring up William Johnson. Johnson 1 for 3 today. Here's the first pitch to Johnson. Johnson lines this. That is just rolled foul. Just rolled foul, says the first base ump. Here's the 0-1. That's taken high and off the plate away. 1-1. The 1-1 high. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch inside, ball 3. 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch. He's fouled that off. It'll be 3-2. Full count. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 4. And William Johnson walks. That'll bring up John Glenn. 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. First pitch to Glenn. And that is on the inside corner for a called strike. It's on 1. Here's the 0-1. And he's fanned at that one and missed. It's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Grounded foul. We'll do it again at 0-2 still. The 0-2 pitch. Way off the plate away. A wild pitch even. And Johnson goes to second. Fulmer goes to third. Spurs losing as a... Yeah, but we're losing. We're losing. I'm not having a good weekend, though. Forrester winning. West Ham's losing. Phillies lost. 1-2. Here's the pitch. That's high. That gets by the catcher. The throw coming home. And safe at home is Chick Fulmer. And that is a wild pitch that Fulmer scores on. Going to third is Johnson. 13-5 now for Cleveland. Honestly, the MLS season can't be over soon enough, and we're only 5 games in, Skull. Here's the 2-2. That's high, 3-2. My club needs, I know you meant it, but still, the Union need wholesale changes. They need wholesale change. Sugarman should sell. They need to fire Tanner. I don't know why the fuck he hasn't been fired yet. Any normal club would have fired him, but, you know. Welcome in, Dave. Good to see you, man. How are you? Wish granted. Union now owned by the Glaze. I mean, fucking hell. Welcome in, Pars, bro. I didn't want to say this on the recording, but I'm going to say it anyway. Pars. The Union owner is named in the Epstein files. And on top of that, he refuses to fire a gentleman who just got punished by the MLS for saying homophobic, sexist, and racist remarks about African coaches, female linesmen, female referees, and just openly gay people. And not only that, but the other co-owner went on vacation with him just in February while he was still under active investigation by the league. So, you know, I would like for the shit to be out of the club, you know? Sounds like a real treasure of a human being. Yeah, exactly. So that, you know, the whole organization needs changes. A lot of people are going to put blame on the club, like the club's performances on Carnell, but I don't know about you guys. When there's rot at the top, it trickles down. When Liverpool were going through some crap with the sale to the, if you guys remember way back when Liverpool was first getting sold to the Fenway Sports Group, Liverpool sat like in 17th after 7 games. They played terrible. You know what I mean? Look at the Glazers. Look at Man United. Look at how absolutely rotten that ownership group is. And now they're doing great, but they've struggled the last few years. You know what I mean? Like Chelsea's ownership sucks. They're struggling. Spurs ownership is a nightmare, and they're in 17th place. So when you have rot at the top, it trickles down. You know what I mean? You know what they say about the Hydra, right? You cut the head of the snake. Well, is it Hydra or Medusa? Maybe that was Medusa that they say that about. But, you know, the body will fall. There's a saying, you cut the head, the body will fall. That's how football clubs are, you know. Like Eric Bischoff said, I'm back and better than ever. Nice. The fish starts to rot at the head, definitely. Yeah. There you go. Thank you for putting it into the metaphor I was looking for, Parts. The crap from the top always down. Yeah, and the smaller guy gets the blame. Yeah, and the fans, we have to drive to the stadium week in and week out. We at least drive to the stadium for most games. And we sit through, and it's just bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's like the players don't want to, they start to not want to play because they know nothing's going to change. It's just bad. It's just bad. It's just a really bad scenario. Like, this is a really, really bad scenario. Here's the full count pitch to John Glenn. That's off the plate. He's walked him. And Glenn is aboard. I mean, it doesn't help. You guys, I don't think we're here for it, but we did not renew Mikael Ua, who wanted to go back to Denmark, right? His contract was up at the end of the season, so we let him walk, and he went back to Denmark. He did not enter the re-entry draft. He would have been eligible for the re-entry draft, so he did not enter the re-entry draft. He went to Midtjylland. I think Midtjylland, but anyway. This guy that we signed to replace him was a 20-year-old playing in the Swedish league. His first game, he got sent off for swearing at the referee, and he was benched last game, granted only the 5th game of the season. He was benched by the coach because he showed up the training late. And that is our replacement striker. It is not a good look. Not a good look. So, right. Here's George Hubel. He's 2 for 3 today. First pitch to Hubel. He's popped this up into the seats. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's high and away. Ball 1. But how you guys doing? What's up, Skull? Welcome in. Good to see you, man. Good afternoon to you. How's beautiful Ireland? Because, fuck, man, do I miss Ireland. If there's 2 places I just miss Europe. I'm going to be honest with you. Life over there just seems so much nicer. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Like Italy? Oh, my God. Miss it. Miss it every day. Elena, welcome in. Actually, guys, good weather now. Yeah, it is actually really gorgeous here as well. Thank you for the lurk, Elena. That one's inside 2-1. How's things going, mate? It's going well. 13-5 here. Yeah, I'm doing all right, Root. How are you? Aside from the football, here's the 2-1, and that is popped up and playable. Shortstop's over there. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. What was that? 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go to the top of the 6th, and Cleveland's got a 15-3 lead. Doing okay, mate? Nice. Good to hear. Great to hear, actually. It's going to be the 9-1 2 spots due up for Troy. Bill Lennon will be the first man in. Amaze Game Channel is an awesome FM but very much variety streamer. He mainly streams variety. But he was doing a little bit of FM last night. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Kind of a newer channel, I want to say. Much smaller channel. So give him all the love and support he deserves. The great Amaze Game Channel sponsors today's 6th inning. 13-5 the score. It is Bill Lennon settling in. And here's the first pitch to Lennon here to start the 6th. He's waved at that one and missed. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's high, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's fouled away, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Off the plate away, 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He's checked, swung. They go to third base. He did not go, says the third base umpire, and it's a full count, 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. Popped it up. Shortstop coming in there. He makes the grab, and Lennon is sat down. Jimmy Holland, the next man in. Holland 1 for 3 today. First pitch to Holland. And he's taking that right at the knees for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. He's grounded that down the line at first. And pitcher comes over to help. It'll be out number 2. Clipper Flynn settles in now. He is 2 for 3 today. First pitch to Flynn. And that is on the outside corner for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that is taken off the plate away. It's high as well, 2-2. 2-2 pitch. And that is flied out in the left, but that drifts foul. That'll land foul. We'll do it again at 1-2 now. Troy looking for their 5th win. They are 4-17. They are trailing this one 13-5. Cleveland trying to keep pace with Boston. A win here puts the Forest Cities within 2 games of the Red Stockings. Plenty of baseball left to be played for Cleveland. Troy almost at the end of their season. There's the 1-2. That's high. 2-2 now. Troy will have just 10 games left after this. The loss will drop them 7.5 games back. Here's the 2-2, and that is right back up the middle, base hit. Clipper Flynn's aboard with a 2-out single. That brings up Ezra Sutton, 1 for 3 today. First pitch to Sutton, that's grounded over to short. And they're just going to go to second for the force, and that'll retire the side. No runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard. We go bottom 6th here in Cleveland, and the Forest Cities have a 13-5 lead. We're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Welcome back. Chat, I've got one of my favorite things I'm gonna dig in real quick. It's actually in Arabic, but it is technically German chocolate. I'd just say it's in Arabic because literally the back is in Arabic. Oh my God. Like, look at the... Jesus Christ, camera. Let me turn it off auto. Let me turn this up, and you can see it. See how that's in Arabic? So it's in Arabic. It's an Arabic version of it. You can even see the bottom here is in Arabic. You know, but it is still the Milka. I love Milka. I really like Milka. When I was in Italy, they sold these in the vending machines at the train station, but they sold the Oreo variant. Oh my God. Two of my favorite things. Really good chocolate and Oreo. Oh my God. You already know I had a field day on those bars when I was in it. That's probably why I gained weight in Italy instead of lost it. Because I went to Slovenia, was fed everything I possibly could be fed. So good. I can't wait to go back. And then in Italy, I had so much chocolate. People trash Hershey's chocolate, and I don't agree with that. Because sometimes I feel like wanting something a little bit super sweet. And when I do, I go for Hershey's. But I love, like, the European chocolate is just so good. Oh my God. Right. Bottom six. Frank Norton on the mound. It's the 1, 2, 3 spots to up. Dave Egler leading it off. He is 2 for 4 today. First pitch to Egler. And he's grounded that. That is fouled. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled off again. It'll be 0-2. The 0-2. High and off the plate away. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. That is off the plate away still. 2-2. The 2-2. Grounded foul. Still 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Lined into center, base hit. And Egler's got a leadoff single. That'll bring up Fred Cohn. He is 2 for 3 today with 2 singles, a walk, and a strikeout. First pitch to him. And that is going to get by the catcher. That is a wild pitch. And going to second is Dave Egler. Here is the 1-0 pitch to Fred Cohn. And that is right there for a strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1. Well, he offered at it and missed. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch to Fred Cohn. And that is inside 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. A high that gets away as well. Going to third is Egler. That's a wild pitch. And now full count to Fred Cohn. Here's the pitch. That's high and inside, ball 3. And Cohn has been walked. That'll bring up Deacon White. White is 1 for 3 today. First pitch to White. Off the plate, ball 1, no throw to Fred Cohn, who takes second for free. Here's the 1-0. Inside, 1-1. Would you recommend this game to a baseball newbie? Absolutely. Welcome in, is it Guarca? Is that how you say it? Yes, it's just fun. It's just a fun game. So, but yeah, I would recommend it to a baseball newbie. It's going to seem a little overwhelming if you do a modern era save, like a 2025 save or a 2026 save, because the MLB has all this stuff like waivers and the draft and all this stuff. But if you do like a dead ball save, like a 1901 to 1920, or you do like a 1945 to 1965 save, you might be able to grasp it a little bit more. You're from EU, so I don't really watch the games, but I watch highlights here and there. I've played a lot of Football Manager. I love FM, so I understand how these games work. Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly like football. It's exactly like Football Manager. There's a few little bit more in-depth things than FM, but it's still a fun game. Just buy Draft Messi and you'll be fine, Kappa. Oh my God. Here's the 1-1. That's way inside, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch is grounded over to second, on to first. That's in time. The runners stayed put, 1 out. Brings up Al Spalding. He's 0 for 2 with an RBI. Here's the first pitch to Spalding. And that is taken away, 1-0. There's a really good guy called Sean Curtis. Hold on. I think it's Sean Curtis 430, if I remember correctly. Yeah. There's a really good guy called Sean Curtis 430. If you want to get into this game and you want to learn a little bit more about baseball, he is actually live right now. But he has a Discord, and he knows he really, really does very well in this game, and he's really knowledgeable. Like, he would be able to explain a lot more of what goes on in baseball than I can. So, my recommendation is to go hit him up as well. Here's the 1-0. That's off the plate away, 2-0. Because, like, I understand what waivers are. I get what waivers are. I understand what a two-way contract is. He might be better at actually explaining it. And he would also know some of the other real intricacies of baseball. Here's the 2-0. That's popped up in foul territory. First baseman's there. He's got it. Two down now. He's just also a really awesome dude who streams a lot of Out of the Park. That'll bring up Chick Fulmer. Fulmer's 2 for 4. Here's the first pitch. That is lined right at the third baseman. He's got it. And the side is retired. No runs on one hit. And they leave 2 aboard. We go top 7th. And there is a 13-5 game. Right. I don't usually do this, but we do have the 7th inning stretch coming up, and that has only been pushed out 47 minutes. So I'm going to take a quick 90-second timeout here, and then we'll get back into it. We will be back with more in a minute and a half. Right, apologies. I wanted to close some Twitch tabs that are going offline. Hey! Stewart! You're stopped for gas so you can check in? Nice, man. We're going for a while still. How you doing, man? I hope you're well. Thank you for the 9-month sub. That's crazy. What are we naming the baby? Yeah, I was teasing you because obviously the result of the game. So, right, 7th inning, top 7. Still Al Spalding on the mound. Here we go. First pitch to Fred Tracy. That's taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Tracy 1 for 2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Inside 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That is grounded over to second. And that is a fumble. That is an E4. Second baseman William Johnson getting credited with the error. We've had another fumbly-wumbly. And Tracy's aboard via an E4. That's going to bring up Jim Foran. He's 0 for 3. First pitch to him. Runner on first, nobody out. He's fouled that off. Here's the 0-1. Ripped into right. That is going to stay fair. That is off the wall. Almost cleared the park. He's going for 3. Is he going to get there? He does. RBI triple for Jim Foran. Coming around to score all the way from first is Fred Tracy. And it's 13-6. That's going to bring up Frank Norton, his first at bat in this game. Inside, ball 1 to Norton. Here's the 1-0. That's grounded over to first. And he's got it. They make the play. RBI ground out, though, as Foran comes in to score. And that is going to be, oops, sorry, I wrote that in the wrong box. And that's going to make it 13-7. One out, nobody on now for Pony Sager. He's 0 for 2. First pitch to him. And he's fouled that off. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. And that is high, 1-1. The 1-1. That's high, 2-1. Oh, here's the 2-1. Lined foul. I'm wondering if Gorka is Dutch, because I'm wondering if the Dutch teams win in the group stage that they had. Who'd they beat? They walked it off as well. Was it Venezuela they beat? Who'd they beat in the group stage? They walked somebody off in the group stage. No, it was Nicaragua. They walked them off in the group stage. That was exciting. I was hoping that got a lot of Dutch fans on board with baseball. Baseball's great. Great sport. Here's the 2-2. It's popped up. And that's right at the second baseman. He's got it, and that's 2 away. A lot of people say, oh, it's just rounders. But there's so many unique rules and situations that have developed over the 170 years with which baseball has been played in the United States that the game doesn't really resemble anything like rounders anymore. And I don't think there's anything like it on the earth. Here's Patty Quinn settling in, 1 for 3. Here's the first pitch. He's going to take that for a called strike. Like, there are sports that are somewhat similar, like field hockey and ice hockey, in a way, are kind of similar. Field hockey has some similarities to rugby, the way they handle cards. You know, disc golf and ultimate frisbee, kind of the same. Ultimate frisbee and like American football have some similarities. I don't think there's anything like baseball. I really don't think there's anything like it. So it's just a really unique and quirky game. Here's the 0-1. And he has popped that up in shallow right. Second baseman's there, and does he have it? No, he does not. Now, the question I have is that's been ruled a single. I would have given that an error. But second baseman William Johnson went to play it, but he's late. It looked like there was bad communication between him and Hubel. And it allows the ball to touch the grass, and Patty Quinn gets aboard. Score's decision is a single. That brings up Bill Lennon. He's 1 for 3. First pitch to Lennon. Off the plate away, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's inside, 2-0. Here's the throw over to first, and a runner is back safely. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Runner throw over to first, and the runner is back safely. Here is the 2-0 pitch. Grounded over to second. Throw on to first. That's in time. He's got it, and the side is retired. Right. 1 run, 2 runs on 2 hits. And they leave 1 man on. 13-7 here in Cleveland. Beautiful organist play. Absolutely fantastic organist play. We're going to play the one by, you gotta love that organ. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's so good. But we're gonna play the Harrison Scheckler mix. We're gonna step away. We'll be back in 2 minutes. In the meantime, enjoy this rendition of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." You heard the. Oh, hold on. I might have just muted myself. Nope, we're back. Well, you heard the man. We're going to play ball. Thank you for the Hydrate Viva. And let's get into it. Bottom seventh, Denny Mack at the plate. Still Frank Norton on the mound. Troy got closer to it by 2. They still trail by 6. Here's first pitch. And that's taken on the outside part of the plate. That's a ball. It's taken off the plate. Denny Mack representing the 6, 7, 8 spots, which are due up in this inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's lined back up the middle, base hit. And Mack is aboard with a leadoff single. That'll bring up William Johnson. Johnson is 1 for 3. Here's the first pitch to Johnson. And he's fanned at that one, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Inside, ball 1. 1-1 count now. Here's the pitch. And that one swung on. Missed, but it gets by the catcher. It's a fast ball. And Denny Mack goes to second base for free. Looks like we got a 2-1 win. So getting 6 points out of the Derby this year. You scored in the 90th minute. That was the big one, is that they scored. Sunderland scored in like the 90th minute. Here's the 1-2. Grounded foul. 1-2 still. Here's the 1-2. That's ripped foul into the seats. Here's the 1-2. Off the plate away, 2-2. The 2-2. Grounded foul, still 2-2. Here's the 2-2. High, ball 3. Yeah. Here's the 3-2. Off the plate, ball 4. And Johnson's aboard with a walk. That brings up right fielder John Glenn. First pitch to Glenn. That's high. Double steal in play. Throw to third. Not in time. There's the 1-0. That's high, ball 2. That's a wild pitch. No, it's a pass ball. Beg your pardon. It looked wild, but it's a pass ball. Coming in to score is Denny Mack. William Johnson goes to third. And Cleveland get one of those runs right back, 14-7. Here's the 2-0. That's high and outside, but it's on the outside corner of the plate, 0-1. I thought that was a ball. Here's the 2-1. That is right down Broad Street. 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That is absolutely smoked in the left center field. It takes one bounce into the wall. And this is going to be an RBI triple for John Glenn. It's his second triple of the afternoon. Scoring is William Johnson. The 8-run lead is restored. And it's 15-7. Just about to drive and get back on the road. Sounds good. Drive safe, Stuart. Take care, brother. Here's Hubel. 2 for 4 today. He takes that up and away for a ball. Bruh. What's up, Viva? Did I write you down, Viva? I did. Here's the 1-0. That's high, 2-0. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and missed. 2-1. Oh, that sounds, I love baked cookies. Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Here's the 2-1. That's lined into left, but it's drifting foul to land foul. Congrats on the lead, by the way. I saw you said you were beating AZ Alkmaar 1-0. Here's the 2-2. That is popped into right at the right fielder. He's got it. The runner does not tag. So 1 out. Right. There is a pitching change. Frank Norton goes 2 innings. And they will bring in Joe Simmons. First pitch by Simmons. That's inside, ball 1. He's going to face the top of the order in Dave Egler, who's 3 for 5 today. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fanned at and missed, 1-1. A 1-1. That is right. No, that missed. What? Where did that miss? 2-1. The 2-1's fouled off. It'll be 2-2. The 2-2 inside, ball 3. 3-2 the count to Egler now. Here's the pitch, and he has popped this up in center, playable. Catch is made. And the runner does not tag. First pitch to Fred Cohn now. And that is a called strike 1. Benny's, you guys going to relegate Spurs? Oh, God, wouldn't it be a story? Welcome in, it kid. Great to see you. I hope you're doing well. That'd be a story and a half, wouldn't it? I'd say we could, but we were absolutely terrible versus Villa today. There's only 7 games left. Right, Cone is 2 for 3 with 2 walks and 2 singles and a strikeout. Here's the first pitch. That is lined foul down the left field line. Yeah, I saw. Yeah. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Yeah, I kind of want Fars to be the one to go down, Fars. I really do. Right. 2 runs on 2 hits. And they leave 1 aboard. We go to the top of the 8th. 15-7. At least your losses against a good team. Yeah, but we're at the point of the season, Kit, where we really can't afford any losses anymore. Doesn't really matter against who. You know what I mean? We're still the one in the drop, so we're the ones that needs to get the results. You know what I mean? Forest or Spurs don't go anywhere if we don't do our part. You know what I mean? To put them under pressure. So that's the way I look at it. Like, right. New inning, new sponsor time. I forgot to do a sponsor for the 7th. Ziggurat is an awesome streamer who streams Football Manager. He's got 2 network saves in Football Manager and a solo save. A network save with David Nyholm, Hludu, and KJ Plays. Another network save with Coach Sanko and Bubba McGinty. He's got Return of the Mac, which is a Macclesfield save. His beloved Macclesfield. Also plays other games like Arc Raiders and Euro Truck Simulator 2. Give him a follow. Fantastic member of the community. The great Ziggurat is the sponsor for today's 8th inning. Yeah, 3-0 they lost. Right. It's the 1-2-3 spots. Due up. Top of the order. Jimmy Holland in the first man up. He's 1 for 4 today. Here's Al Spalding on the mound. First pitch. That's high and in. Ball 1. Bruins! Good to see you, man. How are you? Here's the 1-0. And that is off the plate, 2-0. 2-0 pitch. And that is just going to catch the outside corner, 2-1. Still figuring out FMH 12. It's definitely very, if you played out of the park and then you go over to Hockey Manager, it really looks like very bare bones compared to out of the park. You know what I mean? But still a fun game, and yeah, still figuring it out. Yeah. I'm excited for our FMH or FHM 12 save. I think that's going to be really interesting. You guys are going to see the NHA evolve rather quickly. It's somewhat easy to pick up wins, I feel. You say that I won all 4 of my preseason games and then lost the season opener. Here's the 2-1. That's chop foul. We'll do it again at 2-2. I'm still on ECHL, though. Fair enough. Here's the 2-2. That is off the plate away. 3-2. Here's the full count pitch now. Grounded over to third. Throw on to first is in time. I destroy everyone in the regular season, then get bounced in the semis. I don't see where I can. I have no idea where you go to apply for jobs, to be fair. I've not looked into that either. Right. Clipper Flynn settles in. 3 for 4 today. First pitch to him, check swing, but it's in there for a called strike anyway, and it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Ripped down the left field line, foul. Here's the 0-2. That is lined into left. That is going to drop, base hit. And Clipper Flynn has got his 4th single of the afternoon. Ezra Sutton settles in. He's 1 for 4. Runner on first, 1 out. And here's the pitch. Off the plate away. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That is lined foul down the third base side. Sorry to hear that, Swanky. Here's the 1-1. That is popped up in the infield. Second baseman comes in, makes the grab, and that's 2 down now. Fred Tracy, the next man in. 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. That is in the dirt. 1-0. Oh, rip. The 1-0. That is right down Broad Street for a called strike. 1-1. There's the 1-1 pitch. Lined into left, drifting foul, and that's going to land in foul territory. The 1-2. Lined foul down the third base side. The 1-2 pitch. Lined into right. That's just going to fit a drift foul. Here's the 1-2. He's fouled that off again. The 1-2. This one grounded over to third. The throw over to second. That's in time to get the lead man. And the side is retired. No runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 man on. We go bottom 8th here. 15-7. We're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. You guys are not hearing me. There we go. Right, bottom 8th. In Cleveland. It's the 3, 4, 5 spots due up. Deacon White, the first man in. Joe Simmons is still on the mound. And Deacon White currently 1 for 4. First pitch. What's up, control base delete? Good to see you, brother. How you doing? That is outside for a ball. What up, Benny and chat? Not much, man. What about you? Right. Here's the 1-0. That's taken up and in, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Off the plate inside, 3-0. The 3-0 pitch to Deacon White is taken on the inside corner at the knees for a called strike. Yeah, we lost 2. So, 3-1 pitch. Although losing to Forrest, that was your opportunity, wasn't it? That's fouled off, 3-2. Yeah. There's the 3-2 pitch. And that's line foul. Still 3-2. Here's the 3-2. Grounded over to third. Throw on to first. That's in time. Enough. Burnley going to overtake us vote. Don't fucking say that. God damn it. I just think that, you know what the biggest issue is? As much as it would be hilarious to see Spurs go down, like, honestly, Marinakis is the guy that doesn't deserve to be in the Premier League as an owner. You know what I mean? I think everybody can agree to that. I think he is such an egotistical, maniacal bastard that he does not deserve to be running that football club. And that football club does not deserve to be in the Premier League because of that, right? Unfortunately for Forest fans. I don't mean that to be harsh on Forest supporters. But I think that's the thing, the point. And yet after today's results, they look like the ones that's going to stay safe, aren't they? They look like the ones that are going to stay safe. That's what agitates the living crap out of me. That's why it agitated me when they won on Pens versus, or they advanced on Pens versus Midtjylland. You know? Right. Al Spalding settling in. Spalding is 0 for 3 today. Here's the first pitch. He's joking. He's being a wind-up. That's popped up deep into left, and that's going to land foul. So, I think it's the same as Chelsea. It seems these clubs are run by someone who never watched a football game and are out of their depths. Yeah, but Chelsea's got so much money now. You know what I mean? Here's the 0-1. Oh, it's not like Spurs don't have a ton of money. That one's popped deep into right, and that one will land foul. We'll do it again at 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That's lined into right. This one's going to drift foul. Although I saw an interesting thing the other day, actually, speaking of this. I saw an interesting thing about Spurs and about Real Madrid that said they're seeing an uptick in injuries. And a lot of people, or the theory that I saw was that this person believes it's because it's a retractable pitch. Because the dirt or the soil is not as deep. So it compacts smaller, and because it's not as deep, it compacts a lot more. And the cleats get stuck in them a lot more because of that. Yeah. Madrid are investigating it. Yeah, Spurs are not. Well, here's the 0-2. That's grounded over to third. Third baseman comes over. No throw. He's not going to be able to get there in time. It's an infield single for Al Spalding. Right, we got ourselves a substitute, looks like. Francis Abercrombie will come into the game for Chick Fulmer. Fulmer finishes 2 for 5. There's the first pitch to Abercrombie. And he's popped it up into deep left in foul territory. And that is an error. That is an error. He's dropped it. Tony Sager has dropped the ball. It's an E4, no harm, no foul, but it is a foul ball instead of an out. Oh, that's not what I wanted to alt tab into. Oh my God. Here's the first. Here's the 0-1. That is off the play. That's a wild pitch. That is a wild pitch. And Al Spalding will get the second for free. The 1-1 pitch. Inside, ball 2. 2-2, that foul drop. Also, hello. Oh, what's good, bro? How are you, man? Great to see you, dude. How's beautiful Ireland today, my man? I feel I feel Francis Abercrombie should be topless. Ay. It is fabulous and sunny for a change. Yeah, I know. That's the only thing I would hate about living in. I really would not mind living in. I mean, Ireland a little. I wouldn't mind it, but there's parts of it that I'm like a little bit hesitant on. But like Denmark, Norway, that area, Netherlands, I wouldn't mind living there. I'd love to live there. Except it's a little too rainy. Like, I would have to deal with it. I would still live there. But, like, it's just a smidge too rainy for my life. I like summers. You walk out and it's warm and it's nice and the sun radiates on your face 4 days a week. You know what I mean? So, here's the 2-1. As Fandat missed, 2-2. I mean, the alternative is, time to learn Italian, my friend. Truth. The alternative, though, is the trade-off for getting nice, warm, sunny days 4 to 5 times a week on average is really intense summer storms, like really intense. Well, and spring storms, but yeah. Like right around now, like March / usually April through to like July, the storms are like, they'll knock your power out. You know what I mean? AZ are horrible. 2-0 night. We have those too. Yeah, that is true, actually. Yeah, that is true. I remember 2 years ago seeing something on, actually it's probably 3-4 years ago now, seeing something on the UK about the chain lightning that was going across the sky and how big and booming it sounded. I was like, yeah, actually, that's fair. There's the 2-2. That's fouled off. We'll go again. But I hope you're well, Owen. I hope you're doing great, man. Here's the 2-2. That's fouled off yet again. The 2-2 again. And that is low for ball 3. And it gets by the catcher. It's a pass ball. Patty Quinn having a nightmare at home plate. Going to third base for free is Al Spalding. Full count now. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 4. And Francis Abercrombie draws a walk. Denny Mack will be the next man up. Mack is 1 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch. He swung on that one and missed, and it's going to get by the catcher. It's a pass ball. Patty Quinn's having an absolute Weston supermare. Spalding will score. Abercrombie goes to second. And that's made this one 16-7. Here's the here's the 0-1, and that is popped up into left. That's a base hit. Abercrombie gets the third. And Denny Mack is on first. Runners on the corner, still just one out. There's the pitch to William Johnson. That's fouled off. Johnson is currently 1 for 3. 0-1 to Johnson is taken away, ball 1. Here's the 1-1. That's high, 2-1. I actually think I know who Chef Moose is, but his first time message was "I take a shit on you." So guess what? Ban him. And good luck getting that overturned. That is lined out into center, and that'll be out number 2. He did not cook. He did not cook. No, he did not. If anything, he got cooked. Welcome in, Heindo. Thank you for the lurk, my man. And the crazy thing is, he can't hear me say, I think I know who that is, because I ticked the setting. I'm sorry you feel like ass, bro. God, that's awful. And I'm sorry you're in work, man. I hope it's over soon for you. I took the setting that if you get banned, you can't watch the stream. So he can't hear me talk to him, even though he's banned. And yeah. I've got what the kiddo. See, that's the worst part about having kids right there. Is every time they're sick, you're sick. Who's banned? Chef Moose. I don't know. Chef Moose came in. I thought I've seen him from another chat, but literally come in first message. And Jarvis type skill issue, yeah. And first message, he insulted, so gone. Right. Glenn is 3 for 4 today. You're a mod on my channel. Feel free to swing the hammer, sweetheart. Only got away with insulting you first message. But see, you've already had your first message. You're a VIP here. I think I know who that is, but I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not going to accept that as a first time chatter. So that's a goodbye. You know what I mean? If anything, he can submit a ban appeal. He's got to wait for the cooldown, but he can submit a ban appeal once that cooldown is expired. The first message, well, that's all good. That's all good. Then we went on to Bennifer. Oh my God! Right. I don't understand why people do that though. They come in and they just decide to talk shit first message. Like, I'm 38. I don't have time for that. Right. First pitch to Glenn. Nor am I going to make time for that. That's on the inside part of the plate. 0-1. I talk shit if you want to, Benny. No. I don't mind a bit of banter, but I really don't like personal attacks. I think it's, you know. You can say I'm oversensitive because I'm American. I don't really care. Someone get me, yeah. Here's the 0-2. Wait, there's a difference when you know it's banter. That's true. Here's the 0-2. That is high, ball 1. You're more bloody Canadian than American. Oh, I wish I was. I wish I was to the point where. Oh, I don't think I have. Did I put it back in here? I did not put it back in here. Note to self. Note to self. Put my passport back in this. Oh, yeah, I did put it back in here. I wish I was more Canadian than American. I wish I was more Canadian than American to this extent. Right. Why the short stream today? Because the FM save is not ready, Pat. And I'm going to spend the evening continuing to prep it. That's essentially why I'm going to spend the evening. I thought when streaming baseball, you're legally required to finish a sentence with, I'm 38, I'm a man. No, that's college football. I'm a man. I'm 40. Come after me. God bless Zamponis and maple syrup. God, right. I'm preparing to sleep in a bit. It's 1 a.m. there, so okay. The FM save's not ready. What FM save? The longest save, Heindo. I'm pulling. Welcome in, by the way, Pat Witz. I'm pulling the longest save back to FM 23. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the. Wait, why? Because there's not enough in 26. I don't like Hall of Fame is broken. There's no international management yet. I can't click on a club and look at the finances. I cannot be arsed to reinstall mods every time there's a patch. And I'm done. I'm done with it. So I'm taking it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the save file in FM23 and I'm simming it all the way up to where we stopped in 26. And I'm trying to recreate all the results. Now, I'm not going to be able to recreate them goal for goal, but I'm going to keep the league goal difference intact. And I'm going to get us to the same point in the Icelandic Cup. And I drew 2 of the 3s of the 3 teams we knocked out of the Cup so far. I drew 2 of the 3 of them. And so that was good. The gonna be hard save scum and a loss. And the other thing is I'm gonna push us into the Conference League 3rd round because we made the Conference League 3rd round on 26. So I'm almost back up to where I have 4 games left I have to do. And then I have to take all your chat redeems that you guys redeemed and readjust those players. So all the players that have had adjustments are going to have their adjustments redone in 23, which I will do. And after that, I just have to fix the club finances because I think right now I have 1.8 million in 23, and the club in 26 I think has 2.8 million. So I'm going to fix that, and then I'll start the save, and then we'll pick it back up. So I think right now next weekend is probably the relaunch of TLS in 23. Right, here's the 1-2. Off the plate away, 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That is lined into right and fouled. You know what's stupid, though? You know what's something stupid I saw in 23? I got a news item from, 90minute or something like that, .com or whatever, one of those journalists, and they said, Pixelated Suits is no longer going to receive South Korea call-ups so long as he plays in Iceland. The dude just won the Golden Ball at the World Cup. I don't think he's going to not get picked. I think he's going to be just fine. Just admit it. You missed the Saskian. Well, There's an element of truth in that, Sass. 2-2, and that's popped up. Way out to into shallow right, and the second baseman goes back and catches it, and the side is retired. Right, 1 run on 2 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go top 9th. 16-7. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 spots for Troy. It'll be Jim Foran, the first man up. Al Spalding takes the mound to complete this game. Foreign currently 1 for 4 today. Here's the first pitch. And that is grounded over to second. Throw one to first is in plenty of time. That's going to bring up Joe Simmons, his first at-bat in this game. First pitch to Simmons. And that is off the plate away. No, that is on the outside corner. 0-1. Can't wait for you to make it. Nice. Here's the 0-1. It's fanned at 0-2. To be fair to Teeny, he's done a phenomenal job with the 26 skin. Like, I take nothing away from Teeny and the 26 skin. It's incredible. It reminds me a lot of your skin, Sass, actually. But I just don't want to be bothered installing it every single patch. Like, I'm good. And I don't want to wait on FMRTE to update every single patch. I'm good. I'm so good. I couldn't. I'm all right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna. I launched 23. 23 will work every time. So you know what? I'm going back to 23. The Hall of Fame being broken's a big like Debbie down. Like, it's a big pain point for me as well. Right, and here's the 0-2. Dave! That one's grounded over to second, 1 to first in time, and that's out number 2. Welcome in, Dave. Right. First inning, second inning, third inning, fourth inning, fifth inning, sixth inning, seventh inning, eighth inning, ninth inning. Right, I got to start shouting people out because I have enough sponsors for the next game. So, we'll start with you, Dave. Dan David! What's good, man? How are you? How are you? I know you're not Dave. The good is Dave. Guys, go follow Dave. He's a phenomenal guy. Really good FM streamer. He's got a great save going on in Europe called Eurosteel, where he has to win every trophy possible in the nations that have won the European Championships. He's crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. Go give him a follow. The great, the good. Another defeat for West Ham. Yeah. 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 Isn't everyone either Dan or Dave on Twitch? I'm Benny, so I don't know what you're talking about. Right, here's Pony Sager. He is 0 for 3 so far today. First pitch is right down broad, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That is below the knees, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Off the plate away, 2-1. I mean, they are common, yeah. Here's the 2-1. Lined into right, that's going to drift foul. No, yeah, that drifts foul. Yeah, that drifts foul. I didn't do a sponsor for this inning. We need a sponsor for this inning. It's almost over. It's fine. They'll sponsor the post-game show. We need West Ham to win, so there is room for Tottenham at the bottom. I just want to stay up. Thank you for the alert, QZ. Appreciate you, bro. Here's the 2-2. That is off the, where'd that miss? Off the plate inside. 3-2. Full count. Here's the pitch. Grounded right back up the mound. Second baseman's there, on to first in time, and the ball game is over. Cleveland do what was needed of them. They come in here at home against the worst team in baseball, and they pick up a big win to stay within 2 games of the Boston Red Stockings in the National League pennant, or in the American League pennant. The final score from this one, Troy's still looking for their first win on the road all season. They have yet to win. The first The final score in this one, the Troy Haymakers 7, the Cleveland Forest Cities 16. I got some spring training on the TV just because the weather is so nice there. Yeah. Is it not nice where you're at, Bruins? Right. We're going to go over the stats. Oh. Snow in March? Come on now. This post-game show brought to you by Kadava, an awesome streamer at an alternate history save going on. Why did it not? Oh, God, that right there is like a swanky pants shout out. Oh my God. That a great, awesome alternative history save going with F1 Manager 2024. Proud Australian. Give him a follow if you haven't already. The great Kadava sponsors this post-game show. Right. We're going to go over the stats, and we're going to start with the visiting Troy Haymakers. Come on, am I watching Benny or Swanky? Horrible. Yeah. Right. I know the stats from this game in my sheet differ. I don't know why, but they differ, and I'm going to go by my sheet. So we're going to start with Jimmy Hallinan. Hallinan, 5 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 fielding errors. Clipper Flynn, 5 at-bats, 4 hits. Ezra Sutton, 5 at-bats, 1 hit. Clipper Flynn scored a run, by the way. Fred Tracy, 4 at-bats, 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 RBI, 1 sacrifice. Jim Foran, 5 at-bats, 1 hit. It was a triple. 1 RBI, 2 runs. Right. Bill Craver. One at bat, no hit. Pony Sager, 4 at bats, no hits. 1 base on balls. I forgot the base on balls for the other guys. Jim Ford had a base on ball. I think that was it. I think I just missed the Jim Ford base on balls. Yeah, it looks like. Oh no, Jim Ford did not have a base on ball. Sorry. That's the only base on ball so far. Okay, cool. Right. Patty Quinn, 4 at bats, 2 hits, 1 RBI. Bill Lennon, 4 at bats, 1 hit, 1 RBI. Harry Wright, 2 at bats, 2 hits, 1 run. And Frank Norton, 1 at bat, no hit, but an RBI. Joe Simmons, 1 at bat, no hit. Total at bats for the Troy Haymakers: 5, 10, 15, 19, 24, 25, 29, 33, 37, 39, 41 at bats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 runs. Hits 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 13. Doubles. I think it was just there was no doubles. I think it was just the triple. No doubles. 1 triple. 1 base on balls. I have 4 fielding errors. No strikeouts. No stolen bases. 1 sacrifice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 RBIs. We'll do the pitching stats in a moment. The batting stats for the hometown Cleveland Forest Cities: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at bats for Dave Egler. 1, 2, 3 hits. 1 run. Fred Cone, 4 at bats for Fred Cone. 2 hits. 2 runs, 1 base on balls, 2 strikeouts. Deacon White, 5 at bats for Deacon White, 1 hit. It was a triple. 3 runs, 1 base on balls as well. Al Spalding, 4 at bats for Spalding, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 RBI, 1 sacrifice, and 1 base on balls. We'll do that. Good night, Benny. See you all next time. I'm going to rest my old butt. Take care, Pat. Get a good night's sleep, brother. Thank you for everything. And I will do all of that hydrate, stretch, and posture check after we're done putting these stats together. Right. Chick Fulmer, 5 at-bats, 2 hits, 2 runs. Denny Mack, 3 at-bats, 2 hits, 2 base on balls, 2 runs, a stolen base, and a sacrifice, and a fielding error. Let's see here. William Johnson, 4 at-bats, 1 hit, 2 base on balls, 3 runs, and a fielding error. John Glenn, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at-bats, 3 hits, 2 triples, 3 RBIs, 1 run, 1 base on balls. George Hubel, 5 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 double, 1 run, 1 RBI. And Francis Abercrombie, no at-bats, no hits, but a base on balls. Base on balls doesn't count. It counts as a plate appearance, but not an at-bat. Right. Total at-bats for the Cleveland Forest City, 6, 10, 15, 19, 24, 27, 31, 41. Runs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm missing a run somewhere. Who did I miss? Who did I miss? Who did I miss? Who the hell did I miss? Runs. Where's the runs? Runs. Egler, I have 1. That's correct. Cone, 2. White has 3. Got that. Well, I missed Bevan's pinch hit. I missed his pinch hit. What the fuck? All right, whatever. When the hell did he come into the game? In the 7th. I totally, you know what? They didn't make the change at the same time. I just totally missed that. Okay, my bad. White had 3 runs. Spalding had a run. I got that. Fulmer's got 2. Mack has 2. Johnson has 3 runs. I got that. Glenn has a run. Hubel has a. Oh, it is 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12. Yeah, that's right. I'm. You know what? I found the issue. 1, 3, 6, 7, 9, 11, 14, 15. Yeah, I got it. 16 hits. Right. Or 16 runs. Right. Hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 I have. They have 16, but that's because of the cone error. So 17. Doubles 1. Triples 3. Base on balls 9. Strikeouts 2. Stolen bases 1. Sacrifice 2. RBIs 5. Fielding errors 2. There you go. Pitching stats. Craver will get credited for the loss. He only lasted 1 1/3 inning. I have his pitch count at 70. That's correct. He walked 5, struck out nobody. Surrendered 2 hits, 7 runs. How many of them were earned? 3. Harry Wright lasted 3 innings. I have his pitch count at 62. That's correct. He walked nobody, struck out 1, gave up 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned. Frank Norton lasted 2 innings. I have his pitch count at 65. That's correct. He gave up 4 walks, struck out none, surrendered 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, and then Joe Simmons went 1 2/3 innings. Christ, what an appearance! Yeah, I know. 1 and 2. Well, he's an outfield player, so Bill Craver's an outfield player. Their main pitcher was not fit because he had just pitched like 2 days ago, and he had pitched back-to-back games. So they put Craver in to save the arm, and they got smoked because of it. Right, ERA is 20.25. Jesus Christ. Right, Simmons. I have his pitch count at 40. That's correct. He had 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He surrendered 2 hits, and how many runs? One run, but it wasn't earned. Right, there we go. Now for the Cleveland Forest Cities. Al Spalding went all 9 innings. His pitch count, hell of a big, 175 is the pitch count for him. Back in this day you threw underhand as well. 1 base on balls. He did not strike out anybody. He surrendered all 13 hits, 7 runs, and only 2 of them were earned. He gets credited with the win. Spalding goes 9-5 on the season. Game time 3 hours 30 minutes. And official match attendance 1,037 in Cleveland. Right. Immediately going to save the game before anything crashes, knock on wood. We are going to advance one day. We're going to advance again. And here we are. We're going to have a second game on today's stream. It'll be Cleveland versus Boston. That is a massive, massive game, by the way. This is a clash at the top of the American League. Cleveland are within 2 games. Boston has won 10 straight. Cleveland's won 6 straight and 8 of their last 10. Cleveland win this game, they pull within a single game of the American League lead. Boston win this game, they go 3 clear of the American League. Standings in the National League did not change. Troy is now 4-18. They slipped 7.5 games back. They have just 10 games left in their regular season. Chicago and New York are sitting joint first, 8-7. They currently have 17 games left in their season. Fort Wayne is at 9-8. Currently with that would put them at 15 games left in their season. We have got 11 games left in our season, and we are 1 game back at 10-11. So it's really tight here in the National League. If Cleveland can win this game upcoming, they'll make it tight in the National League or in the American League. It'll pull Philadelphia within 3 games as well. But that's coming up next. So for those of you on YouTube, this is the end of the VOD. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care.